Welcome one and all to an all new episode of the Arc Reactor. As usual, I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to be talking about some comics that came out. A lot of shit came out, so we're not going to be doing everything. We're just going to mainly be doing number ones. I think they're all number ones, actually. So this is just most of the new stuff from Marvel at the moment, just because, like I said, there's a shit ton of stuff came out. First up, as I've said before, I'm a huge Deadpool fan, and finally, Deadpool number 1 came out, and it was just as good as I wanted it to be. It's Gary Dugan and Mike Hawthorne in perfect form as usual. They're the team from the last arc. The whole thing is pretty much him becoming like a huge celebrity in the Marvel Universe. He's funding the Avengers now. Everybody loves him. He's super popular. And, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, like Spider-Man always says. And the best way to handle that is to bring on some interns. So he goes and hires some C-list villains to go ahead and be Deadpool in his absence. It's a really cool concept. They're kind of playing with that in Spider-Man 2, and I really like it. They don't set up too much of where the plot's going to actually go. They just pretty much set the status quo of everything as is. If you read the last Deadpool arc, you'll feel like you just got dropped right back into the story. If you're new to Deadpool, it actually does a really good job setting things up for you, so you get all the information you're going to need in order to enjoy this new story. So it's new reader friendly, and if you're an old fan, you'll love it too. Definite recommend. Definitely go get this book. Next, we have Extraordinary X-Men, the X-Men that Marvel's going to be killing off. Ooh, I don't buy that at all. And the fact that they have such a good team on this book makes me think that, you know, they definitely don't want to kill the X-Men off. It's Jeff Lemire and Humberto Ramos, two rising stars in the comic book community. And this book does not disappoint at all. It looks beautiful. Jeff Lemire does a really good job pacing the story. This kind of deals with the whole Terrigen Mist fucking up the mutants thing. They're getting sterilized, they're dying, spreading disease. So Storm's got to put this new team of X-Men together to try to find a solution and save as many mutants as she can. Good place to start off. If you didn't like Brian Malcolm Bendis' run, like I didn't, get this. It's a fresh new start. You can finally read a good X-Men book again. Next, we have The Vision. I'm really not a huge Vision fan. I read Tom King's Omega Men at DC, and I kind of like that. I figured I'd give this a try. It has a really kind of suburban horror feel to it, like, you know, it looks all fine and pretty up front, but then behind closed doors, it's kind of creepy. The whole premise is him creating a robot family and living in the suburbs, but there's something not all right with his wife and his kids. Like, there's something just a little bit off. It's not really scary so much as it is creepy. It's a lot of narration and a lot of dialogue from the writer, not the characters. So if you like to hear somebody, you know, actually tell a story, this is for you. Or if you like that creepy kind of suburban feel, then probably get this. Otherwise, probably not a book for you. Next, what we have is Howard the Duck. Now, I'm not a big Howard the Duck fan. When I first announced the original Howard the Duck coming out, I was like, why? Who's asking for Howard the Duck? So I didn't read any of that. But I only got this one because it has the Gwenpool special in the back, and I kind of want to read that story. So I read the Gwenpool, and it's like a 5-page story, and it was really good. It's going to be spanning the first couple issues of Howard the Duck, so that was really fun. But then I decided, you know, I bought the book, I might as well read Howard the Duck, and I actually enjoyed it. He has a really sarcastic type of humor, which is kind of like my sense of humor, and I really enjoyed that. And the whole thing is him trying to get back to his own universe because he's tired of being in the Marvel Universe where everything trying to kill him every 5 seconds. It was actually really good, though. I really enjoyed it. I would give this one a recommend, believe it or not, even though I'm not a huge Howard the Duck fan, and I'm probably going to fall off once Gwenpool is no longer in the back of the book. Next book on the list is Hercules. Again, somebody I'm really not familiar with at all. I mean, I saw him in that Disney movie in 1999. That was kind of cool. I don't think this is really the same guy. The premise is kind of like Ghostbusters. Like, apparently he's getting hired by the government to take care of, like, mythical monsters, which is kind of cool, but it's just really not up my alley. The first story arc is pretty much the first story, I should say, is pretty much just him trying to save this dude's sister from some weird old Greek monster. He's got some guy, Gilgamesh, actually just hanging out on his couch, kind of just being a bum. It's kind of like a comedy movie where two guys are down on their luck, and they're kind of just trying to get back in form and make a name for themselves. But the humor kind of just fell short, and Hercules just kind of acts like a huge doofus. It wasn't terrible, but this definitely wasn't up my alley. I wouldn't recommend this, but if that's any of that sounds kind of interesting to you, then probably get this book. Otherwise, I'd definitely give this one a pass. Next, the book we have is Huge Disappointment by CM Punk, and it says Cullen Bunn in here, but I refuse to believe he was in this book because it was a fucking travesty. And it's called Drax, and this book is terrible. It's just not good at all. CM Punk should not be allowed to write comics, nor should he be allowed to wrestle. All joking aside, even though I really don't like CM Punk, that's not why I don't like this book. It's just really written terribly. Nobody's really in character, primarily Drax. I think that CM Punk just saw the movie. He's like, I could write a book about that guy. And it doesn't even really do the movie Drax that well. Like, he just kind of comes off as like a crazy psychopath, which doesn't seem like the Drax that I know or the Drax that everybody else knows. It's not, don't get this. Just don't buy this book. Just let Marvel know that you don't want CM Punk writing this book anymore. So everyone, that is the Arc Reactor for this week. As usual, comment, like, subscribe, tell us what you want to see, what you did or don't like, and we will be seeing you next week. Have a great day.